Skyler Bovine here. I'm going to go over my roster, talk about the teams I use in the Sith raids and then in Grand Arena Championship. Then I'll be talking about what I'm farming. So let's get into it. So for the Horrocks Sith raid, I don't have a P1 team. I have two P2 teams. I have the Geos here. They generally get around 1.7 million. And then the Bastilla led team, they generally get around a million. Then in phase 3, I use this Count Dooku team, and they generally get about 1.6 million. And then Padme gets like 350k. Sometimes I'll throw in my Boss K here, but they don't get very much, maybe 100k at most. So that's Sith Raid. And then for Heroic Tank, this is my Phase 1 team. They get maybe 350k. If I have time, I'll use these guys in Phase 1, but I rarely have time. Generally, by the time this team is done, we're on to Phase 2. Phase 2, I use this Bastilla-led team. Generally get about 3 million. Phase 3, I use this General Grievous team. And I generally get about 6.5. Got 6.5 million the last time I did this. And then Geos are my Phase 4 team, and they can get up to 10 million. So that's my raids. Now, GAC, if we were doing 5v5 GAC with 4 teams on each side, these would be my total of 8 teams. My Geos, my Grievous team with Separatists, with IG-88 instead of B1. B1 would be my Newton Dooku team. This is for defeating Jedi Knight Revan. And then I've got about a Bastille-led team. And that would generally be my 4 offensive teams. Then my 4 defensive teams would be a Boss K, Bounty Hunters, Padme, the Emperor Palpatine-led Empire, and then CLS would be my last team. So, ideas I'm considering for the future. One is putting my CLS team, putting R2D2 and Old Ben on it. And then for my Padme team, moving up Jolie into it. I was posting on, somebody on Discord was posting about they had done that to improve their team, and that they had, because Jolie, the problem that they have with the Galactic Republic team is durability. And Jolie provides healing to all these people and also provides protection up when he does healing. And then for my Jedi, using Hermit Yoda here, bringing him in. So that would kick to the bench Plo Koon and Biston. So that's what I'm thinking about. I'll have to try these out and see if we're doing it. So for Arena, this is the team I normally use for defeating Jedi Knight Revans, and this is the team that I normally put on defense. And there's one thing when I was using this team to fight Galactic Republic teams was I was constantly triggering their protection up, and one thing I realized is B1 here, because he attacks out of turn, he triggers their protection up. So if I'm attacking a Galactic Republic team, I'll use Droideka instead of B1 and go with these guys to defeat the Galactic Republic team. But if it's Jedi Knight Revan, I've been going with them. Though this Grievous team does pretty well against Galactic Republic teams. 3v3, if you've watched one of my videos recently, you've seen what my 3v3 teams. I'm not going to go into that. So farming. Right now, this is my hard-known farming. Going for B1 to get him up to 7 stars. Droideka, get him up to 7 stars. And I'm working on the Jedi Knight Revan quest, which is going to be Zalbar and Jolie. They're getting them up to 7 stars. And then, just because they're really good characters, I'm working on Enfys Nest and Shaak Ti. If I would go up to Division 6, I'm currently in Division 7, but if I go to Division 6, I'm looking at doing a clones team with a Shaak Ti lead and then it's just kind of a miscellaneous rebel team. So that's one of the big reasons why I'm working on Shaak Ti. Then from the Cantina, I'm working on T3M4 and Mission, so that I can then do the whole uh, uh, Jedi Knight Revan. Then Hermit Yoda, I've got enough get tokens that I can take him to 6 stars. I just have to buy the shards. And then I want to upgrade my bounty hunters to get that I can get the 7th star on Chewbacca. Not quite there. So, in terms of who am I trying to gear up right now, I'm working on B2, IG-100, and Droideka. Droideka's important to me. He really doesn't get a lot of use in the teams right now, but the big thing is if I can get him, when I get him to 7 stars, I can get him hopefully to 16,500 and be able to do the Geo Dark Side mission. That he's my last of my droids that are required in the P1 bottom for that special mission. So hopefully I can get him up there before the next Dark Side Territory battle, get him to 7 stars, 1600, 500, and then be able to do that mission, get the get tokens. Jango Fett, as I mentioned earlier, he's on my Heroic Sith Raid team, so I want to get him up for that, and I also want to get him up for getting Chewbacca, so I want to try and get him up at least another gear level. And then Thrawn, it's just, he's a great character, very useful, and I just haven't, found the time to gear him up, but I want to, because as I said, he's on one of my Heroic Sith Raid teams that's actually, one of the highest scoring ones. So that is what kind of a roster review and what my farming plans. Please, put in the comments any suggestions that you have. In terms of other legendaries, like I said, I'm on Jedi Knight Revan, and then be gearing him hard, and then after that, I'll start going for Darth Revan. C-3PO is somebody I could go for. I just don't want to because it. I just think that I'm better off focusing on the Jedi Knight Revan, the Darth Revan, and Malak train.